Hey guys, today joining us, we have Christin Foley. Christin is a brand new girl in with Enagic with us. And so she literally just got her machine hooked up just a week ago. And so today we're just going to dive into like the beginning start parts of this business, right? How you're getting started, what motivated you to get started, and just see through the eyes of somebody that really is brand new and getting to see that through her eyes of being on this team, right? It's a pretty big team that we have going on with Race to Freedom and Raise the Wake. And so today we are just going to get Christin's perspective. And so Christin is a corporate exec. She is a mom. She is just getting started in this business. And we're just super excited to have her on today. So yay. Thank you, Christin, for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is awesome. So, okay, so you literally just got your machine hooked up.
Just got it last week.
That is awesome. Okay, let's first dive into it. Was the hookup process okay? Was it pretty good for you? Was it too hard, right? Yeah.
No, it wasn't too hard. My good friend was here to help me through it. But then she also showed me like how to change it for traveling. I travel a lot for work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is awesome. It's another thing I can take when I travel.
I know, right? I take mine everywhere. And so it's kind of fabulous. You know, I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, it's TSA approved. And they're like, what? Excuse me? I'm like, yeah, it is. It's because we're special like that.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. So you've always been into health and fitness. You've just always loved that part of it. But what drew you to this water? What just tell me about how it came into your being.
Yeah, it's funny. So I was actually on the water years and years and years ago with my mom. And then, you grow up and you like think you know better than your parents. And a friend reintroduced it to me lately. And I think it was like perfect timing because between work and some life circumstances and everything, I hit adrenal fatigue last year. And again, I eat well, I exercise, like I would seem like the, healthy person, but my blood work was not, my hormones were not. And once you hit adrenal fatigue, it's extremely hard to get out of it. I'm not a hormone doctor, but I know enough to know that now you have to do, you have to do things right to get out of adrenal fatigue and correct your thyroid and everything without using medication. And I just really didn't want to be on medication. So that's where I started looking at this water because, everything that we drink, it's so toxic. I don't know if this is the right word for it, but it doesn't serve your body. It doesn't serve your body. Even normal water, bottled water, it doesn't serve your body. It's very, very acidic. And so I wanted something to actually heal me from the inside out. Absolutely. And so this made perfect sense for me. And then I, also thinking about my kids, right? And what they're drinking between sports and school and everything else, right? They love the sugary stuff. But it's not serving their little bodies. And when you start looking at epigenetics and things like that, like I care about their future. I want them to have those foundations now so that their cells and their genes are in good shape now and hopefully delay some of that gene expression later on. So that was really the health reason behind it. I have noticed that in the mornings, I'm like ready to get out of bed. So that's I'm not a morning person. Again, so I think that's new. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my story on getting onto the water.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I'm one of these people too, like I believe it falls into our life at the right time. Right. I believe that pretty much about everything about people that we meet and the way that things present present into our world. It's all meant to be at those certain times, right? And it's when we can accept it in and like really be open to it and look at something that could be different, right, than what we've heard before. So yay, so good for just being open to new things. That's kind of awesome. Okay, so then now you've been introduced to this team and this community of people that are surrounding you and loving the water and all that great stuff. So tell me about that. How's that been?
Yeah, it's been fun. I think everyone is just so welcoming and open, and just willing to kind of like link arms together and cheer each other on. And like, let's be frank, because again, like I work in the corporate world. Not that many people are cheering you on a daily basis, right? So it's so good to have this community of like-minded people who genuinely cheer you on, who genuinely want to succeed, not just like clock in, clock out. Everyone's there to do their own thing, right? It's like, how can I help you? You want to do something together? Let's do it. It's invigorating.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Christin, you kind of froze on me there for a second. So let's.
Oh, did I?
There we go. Hang on. I caught
Is it
most,
better?
but now you're still there. There, you're coming back to me now. Yay.
Okay. Okay.
It's it's one of the beautiful things of video. We can cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so you were telling us just about the fact that it's a wonderful space to actually have people rooting for you, and wanting to be there on your side, right? Like that's
right. Yeah.
Such a big deal. And I was exactly the same way. I was like, people care. Like, you ask for help and people are like, oh wait, let me help you, and really want to see you succeed in this business. Which is, one of the really cool things is that's kind of how Mr. O'Shea developed it. He was like, you're going to be better and do more things and be a leader whenever you're leading others and you're showing them how to handle that. And so that's just it's a very different from our typical corporate world for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it really does embody, servant leadership, right?
Yeah.
So it's very cool.
Yeah. That's so awesome. I agree. Okay, so let's talk about, have you in this beginning, with just getting started, how are you, are you sharing the water yet? Are you, kind of starting to get out there and start move and groove in this space?
Yeah, a little at a time. I still have a lot to learn. And quite honestly, this is like a big mindset factor too, right? To get out of your way. And I've, between managing, work, which is extremely busy right now, and then kids, and, kids are out for summer and everything that's going out, it is hard to slow down first to gain momentum later. Because I think initially my mindset was like, go, right? Which is great because you're so excited. But also, like take a little bit of time to get organized. Amen. And, make this a business, because the possibilities of this are just endless, right? But to be more strategic and thoughtful and genuinely just care about people.
Absolutely.
Right. Regardless of the outcome of anything, right? Just care about people. And it's fun because it's reconnecting with people, and if it comes into conversation, great. If it doesn't, great. But just having those human connections, I think that we've lost a lot of that over the years, and then with busyness too. Yeah. So yeah, it's getting going, but again, brand new. Yay.
You know what though? I think it's so amazing to be brand new in this business right now too, right? Like, it's kind of awesome to have fresh eyes and to just be excited and be like, yeah, this is going to rock. Right. I mean, just like you and I were talking about before we jumped on the video, like this is global, right? We are celebrating 49 years of business, in Enagic. And so to be a part of a company that has that history and yet be brand new and ready to rock and roll, like it's a pretty cool time. It's a good space to be. Yeah, 100%. Do you have some goals? Do you have things like that you're looking at, that you're thinking about, developing teams or just anything for you? Where do you stand in that right now?
Yeah, I do have goals. I really want to retire early.
Amen.
I want to retire early because corporate, I love my job. I'm not going anywhere. If anyone watches it, I'm not going anywhere. But I
love it.
I love my job. But the reality is that, you know, I need to be thinking, and everyone should be thinking this, you need to be thinking financially, right? Like what vehicle can take you to, like to really be foundationally set, right? And whatever those
Financial
goals
freedom,
are.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Especially because I work in oil and gas, and it can be really scary. Let's see, in my career, I've had, you know, 6 different acquisitions and mergers that I've been directly affected by, not like my company acquiring more, but like me. Right. And so then
Sure.
every couple of years, it's like, oh, you don't know if you're going to get picked for that job. And now, of course, the more experienced I get, it's like, there's only one position in each company for my role. And that can be a scary place to be, regardless of how good you are in your job. So honestly, like my goal is to have fun and serve people, but also like really build this business.
Amen.
Like it has such a good platform. I mean, you can weave it into health training. You could weave it into you know, just like life coaching kind of stuff. And just really develop like a team and a business and a vision around that. So I know that's very generic, but again, this is week 1.
Amen. No, it is, honestly, it's perfect because it's still, like you said, there's those fresh eyes in it, but there's these big dreams that are also behind it too, right? Because this company can provide that financial freedom, right? We just have to work the system. And then, like you said, it becomes leadership. It becomes just part of making yourself better every single day, right? That's part of my goal is literally to show up better tomorrow than I did today. And so, and I feel like we have that community here. We have those people that are showing us how to show up. And, you know, and then by that, like you said, servant leadership, learning relationships, right? Getting back to actually talking to people and being like, hey, let's have a conversation. If you want to talk about water, great. But if you don't, let me just catch up with you. Right. And I've noticed that definitely in this business where you just get to have those conversations again. And you just get to go with that, which is a really cool thing, I think.
Yeah. You know, and I think another thing too, it's like in my job, like a corporation exists to make money, right? Like that's why it exists. And if you don't believe that, then I think you need to go look at the financials of the business, right? And I know that sounds really cold, but it's like, then also in my role, it's like my job is sure to help people on the HR side, right? I love helping people and training people up. And I love that type of engagement. But also like I work for the company, right? And it's to make money. I'm absolutely replaceable. And it's just like, I want to do something where I can be more creative and have fun and just serve others, because I don't get to do that in my day-to-day job, right? You know, working with attorneys and like the DOL and all this stuff, like it's not fun, exciting.
Yeah, there's a different level of fun to that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm the same way, right? Like, let's have fun doing this. You know, I was breaking out, I have a company, or I have a business here that I work with. And so every week we're just doing like just kind of small mini demos. And I'm like, this is fun. It's like a science experiment. Like, let's jump in there and see what's going on. I love to see something that changes right in front of my eyes, right? Whenever I can show you something and you can see that, oh, wait a minute, you know, wait, what was that you just did? You know, you pulled yellow off of red tomatoes. What's going on? There's a lot of really cool things in it. And so that's one of the things I learned for sure was I'm like, oh, demos are fun. Like they're fun for me. Not for everybody, but for me for sure. So it's funny you mentioned demos are fun, and my daughter, so she likes to get involved in everything. She's turning 7. Yay. Yes.
And and she is like fully involved in anything that I do. So I had like all the cups lined up, you know, and I was doing the demo and everything. And so she ran and she got like her science goggles, so she looked like a little bug like this. And she's like, okay, we're doing science now.
Yay.
Yeah, but it was I love these teaching moments with them, and I'm like, look, Finn, like, this is what it means. Like when the water changes, this is what it means. And, and I think I've kind of raised my kids like that too. We do a lot of gardening too.
Amen. Yeah.
So they know exactly like a good plant versus a bad plant and what to eat and what to eat and all these things. Right.
Yeah.
But it's so fun to involve them in this. And then those are just, I mean, it's extra time you get with your kids, which
It
is awesome.
And then the cool part, and just as you're talking about this, like this is a family business, right? We have these Zoom meetings, and every once in a while you'll see a kid run through the back of the thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's real life, right? That's what we have going on today. But they are watching us, right?
Absolutely.
They watch and they see. And the cool thing about this business is you can pass it on to your kids, right? You can give them this, and there's so many financial freedom, right? That's what we're talking about, and that's what we are generating, and that's what we are also passing on, and we're showing kids how to do it through servant leadership.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is
well, and it's really building that legacy, right? Because there's the financial legacy that we absolutely, like, who doesn't want to build that for their children, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to leave like millions of dollars for them, right? But you want them to have, would be nice if they have some cash.
Amen.
But like having them, growing that education with them, that's absolutely like irreplaceable. Huge. Right? Because they're going to use it for the rest of their lives.
Exactly.
So talking about business, I think, is so important. Talking about money with their kids, I think, is so important so that they grow up to be good stewards of their money.
Yeah, it's laying that solid foundation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're, and everyone's like, oh, my kids are too young. My kids are too young. No, I can tell you, my 6-year-old, she's like, Mom, if you do A, B, and C, then you'll make this amount of money. Yes. I'm like, okay.
Cheers. And you know what? And I listen. Like, that's one of the things. I'm like, they are here to teach me, right? Like, they're absolutely here to teach me and to guide me. Yes, that's my job too. But if I'll listen to them, like, holy crap, the things they can teach us.
Oh, I know. I'm a huge believer that God speaks through your children to teach you things, right? Huge believer of that, but then it's like the other legacy too is just the health legacy. Like, you want them to learn what it's like to take care of themselves. That's critical, especially because I feel like the food and the water and everything is just deteriorating, right? It's not what it was 50 years ago. Like, you have to eat how many oranges now to be equal to the same orange, 50 years ago, like 5 oranges to be equal to 1. It's crazy. Yeah. And I think it's so good though, for them to have a parent role model or anyone as a role model, an adult role model, to show them this is how you take care of yourself. And if you do these things, this doesn't mean that nothing's going to happen to you. Right. It just means that you're taking care of yourself. So maybe that's going to be delayed. Maybe it's not going to be as bad as it could be. Amen. And those are big lessons.
Set yourself up for some success, right?
That's right.
And then also too, if something does happen down the road, you have this foundation of health so that you can move through it faster, right? You can move through it faster. That's absolutely the way it was with me. Whenever I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I was like, well, already I'm healthy, right? I do consider myself healthy, even though that popped up. It was, I knew that I could get through it faster because I had set myself up in that space. Right. And I knew, like, okay, well, here's the things I need to eat. Here's what I need to drink. This is how I need to move my body, right? Like, have that foundation so then you can push through and and just make it happen for sure. So
it's so important.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, beautiful Christin, we are running down on our minutes together. So where do you see yourself in a year? Where are you planning on heading? What's your goal? What's your vision within that?
Yeah, I would like to be, working with the team. I think that would be so fun. And just helping so many people and providing like good information and content out there to everyone that I'm connected with. Yeah. I think it would be so good.
It is so good, and it is going to absolutely happen because, like you said, we are on this like fast moving train of technology and innovation, and it's a huge deal to be able to offer people this water and have it in their kitchen, have it available. right? Readily available. And like you said,
Mhm.
make change and make impact along the way, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
yay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate all of your thoughts, and I'm so excited to be a part of this team with you and to watch you grow and just be on it together. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for having me. This is so fun.
Yay. Absolutely.